before we do that, in our last unit, we looked at expressions. Okay, and then now in this unit, we're going to be starting with equations. Look at the tables, like the examples of expressions, the examples of equations. What is the difference between an expression and an equation? If you said an equation has an equal sign, an expression does not, you are correct. Okay, so we're going to be solving equations, and you can even see in the word equation equa, right? Equal. So it has an equals sign. So let's solve some equations. All right, so here's our equation. -32 plus x equals 11. So we're going to solve it. Then we're going to check to make sure if our answer is correct. So what does it mean by solving? To solve means we got to figure out what is x. Now you could say, I could think of random numbers to put in here. -32 plus 50. Does that equal 11? No, but then you can keep trying. That's probably not the smartest way to go because that might take you a long time. So here are our steps over here. Step one, it says rewrite the equation if needed. Okay, so what that means is just to make it simpler and easier for you to understand. Like maybe there are double negatives. There's no double negatives here, but we could rewrite it. Remember the commutative property. I'm going to put the x in the front, and I'm going to move the -32 next to it. So it's instead of -32 now, it's like saying x minus 32 equals 11. They mean the same thing, but it just looks nicer to me. All right, so that's step one. Step two says locate the side with the variable. Okay, the variable, that's the letter. Okay, so maybe I'll put that in the word x there. Okay, locate the side with the x. So we have two sides to an equation. Okay, and they're split by the equal sign. So what side is the variable on, the left side or the right side? All right, hopefully you figured out it's on the left side. Okay, left side in both of them. Left side and right side is just the 11. Okay, so we figured that out. Step three, identify what you need to get rid of to isolate the variable. So this means we need to isolate the variable, so we need to get rid of everything on the same side of the variable. We want to get the variable by itself. Okay, so what do we need to get rid of? All right, what do we need to get rid of? We need to get rid of the -32, right, to get x by itself, or in this case, it would be -32. So how do we do that? Step four, perform the opposite operation on both sides of the equation. Okay, so what's the opposite of -32 or -32? Right, plus 32, positive 32. Okay, so what that's actually going to do, it cancels it out and it leaves x by itself. However, we got to make sure we do it to both sides of the equation because that will keep it balanced. Okay, balanced. So it's like saying, 2 plus 3 equals 5. But you know what? If I decide to add 4 to this side, right, this now becomes 2 plus 3 plus 4, which is not 5 anymore. So I better make sure I add 4 to this side. So now they are both balanced. 9 equals 9. Okay, so that's what we're doing. We're keeping it balanced. So I added 32 to the left side. I add 32 to the right side. Okay, and you can see what you get. I usually draw a line, it's kind of like saying an equal sign. So what I have left, right? I have x by itself on both of these. It doesn't matter which one you do. And then I got 11 plus 32 in both of them. 11 plus 32, well, that's going to be 43. Okay. So what you can do now is check your work to make sure, right? That's what it says, check your answer. So don't just say, okay, I'm done. Let's see if it's correct. Wherever you see X, plug 43. Okay. So I'm actually going to use this one because I like it better. That's why I did that. So it's like saying, if X is 43, I'm going to subtract 32. And let's see if that's correct. 3 minus 2 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. I get 11. That's what I wanted. So x equals 43. That is correct. All right, let's try another one. All right, Negative 116 equals x plus 43. Pause the video, try this yourself, and then we'll review. All right, how did you do? Step one, rewrite the equation if needed. Now, you didn't have to, okay? But I'm going to go to step two before I talk about that. Locate the side with the variable. Okay, what side has the variable? The left side or the right side? Right, the right side does in this one, right? There's the right side. If I drew a line there, this is the right side. Now, let's go back to step one. What I notice sometimes with students and adults, they like to have the variable on the left side. So you could, step one, you could rewrite it like this: x plus 43 equals negative 116 if you like to have x first, right? But you don't have to. So we're just going to stick with it on the right side here. Okay, so what do we need to get rid of to isolate the variable? What do we need to get rid of? Right, we need to get rid of this positive 43 plus 43. What's the opposite of plus 43? Minus 43, right? What we do to one side, we need to do to the other side, to both sides. So we're going to subtract 43, okay? So the plus 43 minus 43, that cancels out. That's gone, right? And this would equal, so we'll have x by itself, negative 116 minus 43. Remember the same signs. They're the same. So we're actually going to keep, it's going to be negative, and then we're actually just going to add them, okay? Because it's negative. Same signs, take the sum, right? So 6 plus 3, that would be 9. 1 plus 4 is 5. And then I have a 1 there. So negative 159 equals x, or x equals negative 159. And then it says check your answer. So let's go back to our equation, x plus 43. Okay, does that equal negative 159? Oh, no, I'm sorry, negative 116 should be equal negative 116. So if x is negative 159, if I add 43 to it, do I get it? Right? Or think about it like this. If you owe me $159 and then you give me 43, right? That means you still owe me 116. So yes, it does make sense. So x equals negative 159. All right.